Stream started. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hi. Hello. Wow. That sounds like quite the anime. Sounds surprisingly fan servicey. Yeah. Wow. Before last season, it was not like that. Well, I had already noticed there were a lot of like questionable stuff in the few clips you showed in Discord. I must say, yeah. I noticed some designs that were screaming, "We are going to put a lot of fan service here." Yeah. Then again, the anime was going to be very, what to call it, over the top. At least with the interesting the battle scenes, basically, because already the concept of having to sing during a fight is very unique, very over the top and theatrical. Yeah. We can watch it on Community Night eventually. I'm starting to feel that maybe I need to put out like a queue of animes to watch. I feel that it might be necessary. The first episode was kinda brutal. Really. Sounds interesting. Yeah, I cannot really imagine exactly how the structure of the story is going to be. Yeah. Oh, really? That indeed sounds kind of brutal. Yeah. Then again, it will have to be like what to call it? Very graphic for me to actually be surprised in a way. Yeah. Lots of casualties, civilian casualties, shown or implied, because then there are these shows where you have like the heroes fighting on the city, destroying buildings and everything, and surprisingly there is no like deaths, just because the author decided that. Yeah. You literally see people being turned to dust? Wow. That's the only really graphic like this that channel on season 5. Well, we can make like a queue for a series to watch. Yeah. That would be interesting. Maybe I should do that. How about if I make a queue on Discord? That would be interesting. Let's make it should I make it like announcement channel where only I can write? Like announcing what the community night will be? Or I make it like a text channel where everyone can actually write? So people can do suggestions? Like the game recommendations? Let's make it an open channel then. Instead of just naming it like animation about, I say community night suggestions. There we go. And currently we have Legos Bizarre Adventure. Okay. And I will set this as the like a queue. You can suggest like whatever animes you think, and I will add them into the queue. This one here. Okay. Let me pin the message. And I will edit it. Yeah. That looks fine. Okay. The guy did the math, and the protagonist screams through the whole series enough to fill an entire episode. That sounds interesting. Yeah. Today I've been kinda just floating. Yeah. I've been like vibing, doing not much. I got sent another like invitation for another simulacrum for the elections. But these people, you see, they sent me this message at 5 p.m. on Saturday for a simulacrum that was scheduled for 10 a.m. on Saturday. So they sent me the invitation after the simulacrum was finished. Isn't that lovely? Can you tell how well organized these people are? Yeah. I don't know if they did that on purpose, so to make it so I don't actually attend. or if they are actually that incompetent. I'm leaning on the incompetent side. Yeah. Yeah, but today I'm kinda chilling. I'm like relaxed. I'm not like sleepy, I'm not tired. I'm just like purely relaxed. Which is very interesting. Yeah. I was thinking about the game, right? And I came to the conclusion I don't have a justification for the shield in the game. Not that I don't want to include it in the game, but because the story is that I start the trial without anything, like without sword or shield. I need to like set up an event where I get the shield, right? So I was wondering what to do with that. Yeah. Because I already have a justification for the sword, right? Because basically I find it on the remains of a different person who tried to do the trial, right? That's the justification. But where I would find the shields? What would result me in me finding the shield early in the story? Because it cannot be an optional upgrade. It has to be like an essential part of the kit. Yeah. What to do? Another thing that it's not something I've been thinking, it's something I've been working on. I finish like the background for the other dungeons. I finally finished the lore for the dungeons and I like it. But I officially have made the game even more complex. Yeah. Forge, you mean made weapons? I cannot. It's going to be part of my lore actually, that I completely suck at forging stuff. Yeah. Because it's actually true. When I tried to actually do... I have told this story before, have I not? Where I went to the blacksmith, my grandfather's blacksmith workshop, and I tried to make like the tip of a fence, like the spike, and I didn't even manage to make the tip when my hands were already full of blisters. Yeah. So that's going to be like a thing. Yes. Yeah. Hmm. Yes, but I finished the lovely structure, the lore of the dungeons. Yeah. Hold up, you smell smoke? Well, go and check. Don't like tempt fate. Actually, go and check. Yeah. Hmm. I have so much shit that I need to actually make. It's actually kind of scary. I'm just looking at the conceptual map for the game. I just watching the sheer nonsense that I need to make. You found the cause? Hopefully it's nothing like too dangerous. Yeah, there is so much stuff I need to do. Oh, your charger. Well, that means you need a new one. Probably there is something not right with it. If you're going to use it, I recommend to use it far away for anything flammable in case it bursts into flames. Yeah. I had so many shit here. I'm just watching at the conceptual map that I showed you last time. And I have come to realize how much nonsense I have yet to make. It's kinda stupid, in a way. That being said, a few things about the dungeons have been like said, which makes things very, very interesting for me. But because it becomes like a foundation for me to build more lore, and because it makes the game more difficult to make and more interesting. Yeah. The funny thing is that I think can the shield be wash up on the beach? Yeah, it could be an option, but it would be like a very, what to call it, not engaging. Also, you would think shield that can withstand bombs has to at least be made of metal. Yeah. Near the first junction inside a chest. That could be an option. Yeah. I need to think about it. Because I want it to be a little bit more, if not memorable, to be a little bit more lore heavy. Yeah. Have an enemy carrying around. That would be another option, yeah. But then it would be a lower grade shield and probably will have to be replaceable. Yeah. Unless the enemy is like something like a boss. But that would mean you need to go at least an entire dungeon without the shield, which is something I don't want. Yeah. Maybe a thief type enemy? Hmm. The thing about it, it will require me to have either human people into the trial or human-like monsters into the trial. Which I suppose the human-like monsters wouldn't be like that out of place, but I will need to make them a little bit smarter than the rest of the enemies, I suppose. Hmm. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure it out myself. Then on the other hand, I'm staring at the dungeons in the little like application I have. And let's just say I really like them. But they are like difficult. To actually make in a way. You're because you throw it at your head. That would be one way of getting it, but even though it will be comical, I don't think it fits the narrative, sadly. Would you like me to give you a little spoiler about the lore of one of the dungeons? I'm kinda itching to share. I'm going to try to avoid as much spoilers as I can. Okay, let me first do a reading so I know what to skip over. Okay. I have written so much lore, I need to reread it to actually be careful. Okay. Here it goes. A massive triangular structure of a weathered limestone and obsidian, each side perfectly equal in length. The dungeon has 3 identical entrances, each leading to a complex network of corridors that spiral inwards. Each corridor contains a subtle weight-sensitive floor panels that, when stepped on, rotate the entire tomb. This rotation creates new pathways, while sealing others. The ancient mechanisms throughout the tomb maintain perfect equilibrium. Disturbing one area creates a chain reaction that counterbalances elsewhere. At the heart of the tomb resides the guardian of the scales, the boss. The dungeon architecture during storms emits a low humming resonance, as if the perfect geometry of its design channels the valley's tempestuous energy into harmonic frequencies. I skipped a huge chunk of lore right there that speaks about the boss. Yeah. I also created a dungeon item. That is one of my favorites. Yeah. Basically, a pyramid. It sounds like one. Yeah. There is this one item from the outside, you mean? Not quite, but yeah, I see what would you think that, yes. I will spoil this one name of the dungeon item, just to like what call it, like a teaser. I made this dungeon item called that I call the Crystalline Codex. Yeah. I wonder if you can deduce its function just from its name. The Crystalline Codex. Yes. I also, because in theory the protagonist should not like know the names of the items in the trial, at least the ones that are like
The owl.
the ouch, the owl. Hello, Basil. I decided to give like names, double names to whatever items are like not being discovered by previous people testing the trial. It doesn't sound like something that can interact with the environment directly. Really interesting. Should I give you its other name? Right, because the Crystalline Codex is the official name, right? the lore heavy name. The name Mew in the game gives this item when she finds it, because she doesn't know what the original name of the item is, right? This is a brand new item, never seen before in the trial. She calls it the twin ice grimoire. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, that's what Mew during the trial calls it. But his actual real name is the Crystalline Codex. Yeah, it's a book. Twin eyes, yes. It's like one of like those Super Mario 3D World blocks that switch. Like one that appears and not disappears? Not really, no. Yeah. But I have so many things that I need to do now. Actually, now that I think about it, let me check. How many things do I need to do? Okay, these are... Okay, that's 3. And another 3. Oh, wow, okay. Okay. Wow. This is way more than I thought. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Indeed. It does has to do with ice. Yeah. I've been thinking on ways to make the lore make sense without like putting into lots of exposition into the game. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to like add lore into the game without adding text and without making like exposition dumps. Yeah. It's surprisingly difficult. By the way, I was thinking the other day, I was thinking yesterday after the community night, I was thinking, why do I hate on content damage so much? Can name areas after certain key events? Yes. The idea is that as you find them in the game, they are going to be like name like obviously like it will be what you potentially will name something you find yourself, right? Just to give it a name. Yeah. Because you keep bumping the enemies. Yeah, but that's not the only reason, right? Because in other games, I also bump into enemies, and there is like some degree of contact damage, and I didn't hate it as much as I hate it on Hollow Knight. And I was thinking of why is that, right? I was like, why do I find this so obnoxious? Why do I find this so infuriating, right? And I sat there, like, thinking about it. And I was thinking and thinking, and I came to realize something very interesting. When you have on-contact damage, right? When the enemy moves, if you happen to be on his way, it will hurt you, right? That means every time the enemy moves, it's basically an attack, right? Because it has the potential to do damage on contact. And then I came to realize the enemies in Hollow Knight have these moves that are meant to be like pure movement. They are meant to be like relocating the enemy into a different part of the arena, right? They are not meant to be attacks. It's just the boss moving around, right? And then is when it like down on me. It's because when the bosses move, there is no wind up. There is no telegraph of the move. They just move, right? Because they are not seen as attacks. It's just the boss moving, right? So they don't have a wind up. There is no animation. Then you know the boss is going to move, right? It's just movement, right? The boss suddenly jumps without having any frames of an animation showing you he's about to jump, right? They just do. And if you happen to be on its path, especially if you are airborne, it's going to hit you. There is no way to dodge it, right? And that's what it makes contact damage feel cheap, right? Because the bosses have actions that are meant to be like movement, that are just the boss moving from one point to another, but there is no wind up, even though the action can potentially make damage, right? So basically you have these attacks essentially that are pretty much unavoidable if you are on its way and the action starts, right? Because there is no wind up. And I came to realize that when you defeat an enemy that has lots of movement like that, when you defeat such enemy, it's not like a demonstration of skill. It's a demonstration of fear, right? You learn to simply not move into the potentially dangerous zones in case the enemy moves, right? It's not a demonstration of skill. It's not a demonstration of reaction time or knowing the patterns of the boss. It's simple and pure fear, right? It's almost like an abusive relationship, you don't understand your partner, you learn to fear it. Right? That's why I hate on contact damage so much. Because it's cheap, it's nonsensical. Because it makes every movement an attack. But the developers don't treat it as such, which makes a lot of extremely stupid and unavoidable attacks. It makes you take damage for no reason, right? That's why I hear so much unconscious damage. It took me a while of thinking about it to actually coming into that like realization. Yeah. Did I maybe describe it in a very weird way? Ma. Yeah. It was like a bit of an epiphany thinking about it. And then I was thinking about how to solve it. And I was thinking, okay, so you can either remove the contact damage, or you would need to go the other way around and basically treat every movement as an attack. Not so much beating you with a belt, more like being like the typical high school bully that walks into you and bumps you with his shoulder, like trying to tackle you to the ground without pretending to be actually doing something wrong, right? It's more like that. Right? The boss pretending is not actually hurting you, even though he's basically slamming you into the ground. Yeah. That's why I see it a bit like abusive. Yeah. Shall we move on to the game development? Yeah, that kind of abuse.
Lots of civilian casualties.
Wow, what a thing to say, TTS. Wow.
The owl.
Showing your true colors there. It still doesn't beat your summoning goblin summoning spell? Really? Yeah, at least it was not that one. Indeed. Okay. Let's see. We were trying to fix the wind, now that I think about it. Let me see. Oh, whoops. One moment. Okay, that should solve one. And this one. Okay. Hehehe. That should solve it. Okay. Ah! Why are you still being annoying? Come on. Don't be annoying. That's what happens when you modify the project without checking uh, that it actually runs before closing it. Let's go after short. Okay, let's see. It crashed. Lovely. Okay, so what was I doing? I did something wrong here. Okay. What is happening here? So this is doing this, and this is just pushing objects to the right or the left, and it has a limit for sure. Okay. And over here we pick a direction and push once all the objects. But this could potentially be an issue right here. Okay. So starting at my position Y, as long as eyes below room height, we go up. And we are basically going a full position each time. Actually, I don't need this. Now that I come to notice, I just need to add 32. Yeah. Right. And here I need to remove 32. And this one I will make it so it moves on steps of 32. Like that. Yeah. By the way, have you guys seen that anime that is like about vampires? The one I believe is called Helting? I was going through Twitter the other day and I found a little reference to it, and I've been curious. Hugh Jackman in it? No. Is there one with Hugh Jackman in it? Wait, I didn't know Hugh Jackman did anime. Hmm? That's a surprise. He's an actor. That's an actor. I believe he's Wolverine in some X-Men movies or something, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's see if that works. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay, this is pushing me quite nice. Okay, nice. So I go over here and get push up, and then to the right, and then down, and to the next one. Nice. What do you guys think? See, last time my brain was not computing correctly. I made my wind work now. It looks nice, right? A bit junky? Really? You think it's a bit junky? Because of the pauses? Ah! I still can send you out of the room. Mm. Okay, now let me re-enable the self-destruct real quick. So these things have a timeout. And the timeout is currently 3 seconds, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a constant speed. It's like a push, not really anything else. I just need to maybe add a validation to make sure the movement can be executed before I actually do it. So basically I have to check here if there is a collision. So I will go like... Actually, I can just copy the one from the movement to make sure it actually works the way I want to. Let's see, movement. I'm using this right here. And here we're using this one right here to check for collisions. Yeah. By the way, Sunny, how the price on Spanish preference electronics? It depends on the amount, but I believe burnt plastic, which is the insulation from most cables and anything electrical, is usually toxic. It shouldn't really hurt you in small amounts, but I would recommend you ventilate the room. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So basically I need to check on the direction of movement. Hmm. You lack self-preservation? Wow. Okay. This we will set in on next. Position X and Y. Right? And I will set this one to Y++. Actually, it should be this, right? It should be this check right here. And it should be just X. Like that. Just to check for collisions. And this one is minus. And this one is on X. And this should be on X. And then we just need to do this one. There we go. In theory, that should prevent me from being pushed out of the room. Let's see. I get push. Ah, I forgot I set it to self-destruct. Yeah. One moment. Let me fix that for a moment so I can basically test. Okay, these are pushing me just right. Ah! Okay, that didn't work. Wow. Okay, so that's not working. Why is this not working? Oh, I think I know. I need to make a little variable here. Let's call it auxiliary. Var underscore aux equals to 0. Right? And I will say aux equals to this right here. But instead of seeing it like this, it will be like that. Right? And instead of using this, I will use aux. Right? And I move this one over here, and this is going to be a minus. And then I just have aux right here. Right? And then I do the same down here, but this is going to be X and positive. And I switch this for aux. Okay. Right, that way I check first before moving. That might, if I show no sign of life in at least 1 week, you can assume something happened to you. Really? Well, at least we know now. Wow, now it's not moving at all. Lovely. Huh. Interesting. Why is this not working, I wonder? Okay, let me check with a bit of the book. Huh, it's not even entering the test, huh? So this is failing, I suppose. Ah, wrong thingy. Oh, okay, that's one. Okay. So we are right here, right? So the next step, it just skips over. Oh. Okay, we are here. Aux is a specific position. 103. Okay. This is Y is the correct value. Okay. X is also the correct value, I believe. So basically we're checking nothing is meeting this location. Oh, could it be because I'm checking the position and then moving the item? Oh, wait. I think I know what the issue is. Hold up. Did you draw the file menu yourself? I don't know anything. Yes, actually.
Did you draw the file menu yourself? I don't understand anything.
Hello. Yeah, welcome. I made this whole menu myself. Indeed. Would you like a tour? Basically, I make this whole game a ROM save file. My menu. How did you say your name? Adrija? Adrija. Welcome. So yeah, I made this entire game myself and it just crashed. Draw sprite dialog box. Carnage also there. What happened here? Incorrect type string is written a number. Wow. Yeah. Suddenly everything is failing. Lovely. Okay, let me see. Can I find that line? Not really, apparently. The box refine right here. This is the issue. Charge sprite on the find. Charge sprite 5. Okay. These are meant to be. This is for the character face. But that would mean I would be not calling the right function right here for some reason. Huh? What happened there? Hold on, let me test some stuff. I'm a programmer, not really an artist, sadly. Oh, it crashed exactly on the same position. Huh. Okay, let me do something. Yeah, I'm a programmer and making a game based on the original Zelda from 1986. Yeah. Basically. I do make art for the game, but it's not like specifically art. Object dialog parent, incorrect type, string expecting number. Brush sprite, character, top right, okay. Okay, so it is happening where I think is happening. Let me see what is happening here. Why is suddenly it is breaking? It was fine before. Okay, let's check. Sprite 500. Sprite. Okay, that's not a sprite. That's a string. Huh. Character top, character bottom. Okay, that's the issue right here. Okay, that's the last part of the dialog box. Let's see. We have item text right there. We have the actual thingy right here. How long I've been programming? That's actually a very good question. Let me think about it. I've been programming since I was like 15. So that would be the entirety of middle school, high school, university, and my job. So that would be more than 10 years, for sure. Yeah. Ah, there is the issue right there. This is wrong. This should be at the end. They should be right here, and they should be over here. That's the issue. When did I switch that? I don't remember doing that. Yeah, I know. I'm not going to say it specifically. But yeah, I'm a professional programmer. My actual day job is to make programs. Yes. Okay, that should solve the issue. There we go. Now it's working correctly. I need to change this introduction. It's a little bit too long. I have yet to add like sound effects and music to the game, but it's currently perfectly functional. Yeah. So this is my game. I have one dungeon kind of finished that actually needs a bit of a overhaul. Beyond that, I have a bunch of different kinds of enemies. Currently on the overworld, there is only the slimes, but I'm planning to add more enemies as I go. Yeah. Yes, also if you are interested in trying to play the game yourself that I'm making, is available on my Patreon. It's free to play, you don't have to subscribe or anything. The prototypes are basically free to play. Just mind that they might have a lot of bugs. Yeah. I have not released the latest update to the prototypes, so they are not exactly up to date, but they are available if you would like to see how I made progress through this game. Yeah. I keep forgetting to enable that like bush that is supposed to be blocking the entrance. Oh wow. That's interesting. I need to fix that. Yeah, I need to fix that. Okay, this dungeon is broken. Wow, I need to do like a proper like check of the build if I release the next version. Wow. Oh. Yeah, but I made this game from scratch. Yes. Okay, that's the dialog box issue solved. Now I was trying to make this actually work correctly. And the issue was that I was calling this without using it correctly. Actually, I can do it like this. Yeah, I got an idea. I can simply just say, with this particular ID, right? We are going to do this. Our auxiliary is going to be the y plus 1, right? And I want you to test the location we are currently at position X. Auxiliary, if it's correct, we can move by 1, right? That should work correctly. So I should be able to just do this. And this one is the same, I just need to remove this. And I need to remove that. The X and the Y. Nice. I believe that's correct. And I can do the same down here and for the next one. And in theory that should solve the issue I'm having currently. Okay, okay. Wow. Nice. Okay, that should solve the issue, in theory. Let's see. There we go. Now we are getting push. Just fine. Okay. And if I go over here, they should push me against the wall, but not throw me all the way. Just like this also. Just pushing me against the wall. Nice. Now it's working correctly. Perfect. Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah. Now I'm wondering something. Does this apply to other enemies? Let's see. Enemies. Let's grab a bunny and place it somewhere, right? And how about we put a crate in a location where it can actually be hit by the wind? I want to experiment a little bit. Ouch. Oh, the box is being pushed. Nice. Wow. How much did my VTuber model cost? Let me try to translate it into dollars. Wow, it really got stuck there, huh? It would be around $1,500 bucks, $1,500. Yeah, basically. Well, it seems the enemies can be pushed, but they often move against the wind, which is not very useful. Yeah, they move against the wind. No, that's not 1,500, that's 15,000. 1,500. That is 15 plus 2 zeros. Yeah. Yeah, so I see. It seems the... One second. One of my cats wants to leave the room. It seems the enemies don't respond well to the wind. $1,500, yes. Or also, as the Americans say, 1,500. One moment. I'll be right back. 1,500, yes. One moment. I need to let my cat out of the room. I'll be right back. Hello. That's weird? Well, it's not that weird. For example, the French do that all the time. To say 40, they say 4 times 10, basically, on their language. Yeah. They do that all the time. It's not only the Americans that do that. Yeah. It's a weird quirk of the languages. Yeah, you can say 1500s. I suppose maybe it came about of the way they handle money. For example, when you are going to hand over a stack of bills, you would say, hey, there are $1,500 here, right? 15 bills of 100, right? If you think about it like that, it makes sense. Yeah. And then it becomes a habit. Meow. Yeah. Okay, so apparently the enemies don't play well with the wind. Funny enough. Huh. I see what the issue is. It's basically the pathfinding fighting against the wind, which is ironic. Hmm. 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 I'm thinking about what I would do in this case. But then again, I need to rework the entire pathfinding system. That is something I dread. The idea of doing. Yeah.
How are you doing today? Smiley
Hello.
face emoji.
Hello, welcome Max Pop. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing quite fine today. Yeah. Doing just fine. Hello. How are you doing today? You're doing good? Nice. I'm glad. Okay, I believe this is done. The wind. Yeah. Now it's time to make a sprite. It's time for art. Let's see, sprites. Enemies. And today we're making the owl. Owl. You know, I want to make an owl inspired on this one game that I played quite a while back. Called Ori and the Blind Forest. I don't know why I find that particular art from that game extremely imposing, almost nightmarish. Yeah, I like it a lot. I kinda want to make an owl like that. Hmm. But not for this game, sadly. Okay, so we need to make a now. Okay, so we will have like the head right here, right? I am planning to have the head like around this size. Right here at the center, right? And then we need to make like the eyes. I believe something like this could be correct. Right? And you need to have a peak. And then you need the body. That need to be around that size, just centered. Ah, hold on, I made it on the ground layer. Right, something like that. And we need then also the legs. And I would say it should be like something like this, right? And that's a little bit too big. Something like that, maybe. That looks a little bit better. Not like perfect, but better. Like that. Then we need the wings. For that, choose fun. Maybe. I can make like something like this. And then I just delete. Yeah. The eyes do look like this owl is going to tell me to believe. Not to believe in myself, but in the him that believes on me. It does look like that. The wings needs to be a little bit lower. Maybe a little bit in. So I can give it like a curvature. Something like that? What do you think? Does that make sense? I wonder. You can, for example, give it like a belly like that. Yeah. This owl looks like it's going to give a speech on behalf of humanity. What do you think? Is this good? Is this bad? Something missing? As a placeholder, I mean. It doesn't have to be like perfect. The shape is very suited to bat queens. I suppose, yeah. Maybe the body is too big? Should I make the body smaller? Maybe if I do it like this? Would that look more clean? That actually does look a bit more clean. Huh. Let me grab this. Like that. Does that look fair? Now the queens seem a little bit small in my eyes for some reason. Believe in the hood that believes in you. What do you think? Does it look correct? Does it look weird? Is the alerting better? You mean if I refresh the mix it up things? Refresh? Yeah, I just refresh it. Because you mentioned it. Give it devil eyes? How do you give it devil eyes actually? Should I like, I don't know, make it like, not like that. Something like this? To make it more like more evil? Should I give it like angry things like that? Maybe make it like with eyes like that? That looks weird. Nah, that looks like shades. Fill it with red and the light with some a different color. Okay, I will use, let's say, this one for the outline. And
welcome, Hero. Please enjoy the stream.
Hello, Hero. Hello, welcome.
Give it big
Like
round
that.
eyes, face blue smiling.
Round eyes? Well, let's put some owls actually have round eyes. Maybe fully black with one yellow dot? With a yellow dot? That looks a bit weird. Let's see, how about if I give it the round eyes? Let's see. Something like that. Why does this sprite scream Dr. Eggman to me? Ouch. Yeah, this all looks like it's going to go and attack a certain blue hedgehog. It looks way more like sympathetic like this. Funny enough. Now it looks kind. Yeah. Hmm. It actually, like this, it looks like something you will see on a, like on an educational like game from the 90s, the ones that come in a CD-ROM, the ones that are like made in Flash. Maybe don't have those lines at all. Now it looks scared. Pure black eyes with white bubbles? Now he looks like he has PTSD or something. Wow, I didn't know I could make so many weird emotions with just changing colors and shapes. Oh, I have an idea. How about if I do it the other way around? What if I make it like this is like a gigantic eye? Wow, I cannot make a pupil to set myself. Separate the eyes more? Now it looks kinda derpy. There. Now it looks like it has googly eyes. Well, I could maybe separate the eyes a little bit more. Now it looks derpy. Extremely mentally challenged. Maybe just have the eyes be straight up headlights? You mean something like that? And I can hide this one? I need to separate the peak into a different image. One moment. like that. And I can hide this. Like this. Now it looks like it's from Banjo-Kazooie. It kinda makes me think is from Rare. I don't know why. It gives me Rare vibes. Well. What to do? You know, it could look even more derpy if I just separate the eyes. Maybe a little bit lower. That actually doesn't look too bad. But it doesn't look like an owl anymore. It looks a bit like a pigeon. You know that image that you said that gives you the chills? The image that gave me the chills? I don't remember what you were talking about. Oh, you mean the one on Hollow Knight? You should wait on stream? I don't remember which one you mean. The one that gave me the chills. The one you said when you said you were creating a villain? The one I said when I was creating a villain. I don't remember. My brain has been crafting dungeons. The kind of villains you just run from? Oh, you mean the one that I wanted to make, like the perfect villain? That would be maybe a little bit hard to actually recreate because I can see it in my head, right? But I'm not sure I can actually like pull it off. Especially on this resolution, it might not actually work. It's because the eyes has to be very specific. I don't have enough pixels to represent this. Now they look like glasses. Yeah, I don't have enough pixels. Unless maybe if I like collapse this a little bit. Something like that. Now it looks like he's like looking down on you. It looks like he's high. It looks scary, really? It looks like even if it's a little bit, it actually is triggering the feeling I want. Even if it's just for some people. Let's see. Let's switch around. That one's just derpy. That looks more interesting, but it's like not satisfying for some reason. This one looks like he's judging you. Yeah, it does kinda, huh? The second one without outlines. You mean this one? Without outlines? Ah. What the fuck am I looking at? It does kinda look like a face, I suppose. The other one? You mean this one? Without all lines? Now it looks like an angry pigeon. It kinda looks cute, I will say. Yeah. For some reason, this guy kinda makes me want to just, I don't know, give it like a little mustache. The typical villain mustache. The Wario mustache, yeah. Yeah, it also looks a bit like a smile, I will admit. Yeah. I don't know. I'm like confused. I kinda low-key want to use this one. I like all three of them for different reasons. Wow, okay, that looks interesting. I never alter it. That's quite the look. Now it looks like it has like goggles or something. It actually looks interesting for some reason. We can give it the smile. Now it looks like the actually.
Hi.
Hello, welcome. Tinker Productions, welcome. We are currently trying to decide what kind of eyes to give this owl. That looks like a derpy pigeon. This looks the more owlish of the three, but it feels somewhat underwhelming. Have they shot? You mean shot as in close or shot as in the horrifying version of it? Something like that. Someone shot his eye. The wrong kind of shot. Now that looks more like a horror game owl. An owl without eyes. Or we can actually do the one you said and just have it like its eyes like shot. What does it do? It's supposed to be an enemy for my game. Yeah. It's a game I'm currently making that is inspired by the original Zelda. The one from 1986, I believe it was. Yeah. Shot as like this. Well, I'm really bad at drawing this, huh? Well, maybe like this. It's not really a horror game. I was just fooling around. Okay, so just as an example, this is my game currently, as it is. We have a little opening cinematic, right? And then we go into this little Zelda-like world, right? Let me just keep through this. right? And then you are free to explore. I currently don't have any music or what to call it, sound effects. We have a few enemies. Yeah. It can't be if you are bad enough at it. Yeah. It can be a horror game. Yeah. I have this little overworld currently in the works. And I'm currently making enemies for it. I have one dungeon finished that is currently not working because I broke some stuff. Yes, everything in the game is made by me. Indeed. I programmed everything from scratch, I made all the art, and eventually I'm planning to make all the music also. The idea currently is to have this art that I made is meant to be like a placeholder. Eventually I'm hoping to hire an artist to actually do the job for me, because as you can see, I'm not particularly good at making art. Yeah. So this one looks horrifying. Wow, that looks... Huh. Wow, that actually looks kinda nice. In a weird, confusing way. You're an artist, but unfortunately not a pixel artist. Well, here is the catch. I'm no artist at all. I'm a programmer by profession. So I'm basically improvising everything for this game. I don't even know what eyes would look better for this guy. Wanna know what's even more impressive? I'm not 51 years old. I feel like if I don't defend myself, it will eventually become like the actual belief of it. No, that one wanted poster that I forgot to edit, the age of, doesn't count as evidence. Oh, that looks more creepy. If you see the original owl like this, and then you find one like this, actually it's even more creepy. I never actually thought about that. Okay, how about US 17 has been for 37 years. Wow. Wow. You're putting me on the same league as Ketchum, which I'm not. Decent rated? It can be, I suppose. I'm not going to like stop myself from doing something that is M-rated if I have to. It's not the intention currently, right? But if I feel it fits the story of the game, I'm not against it. Yeah. Okay, so let's assume it will stay like this for now. We can decide on the eyes later. This is only meant to be a placeholder, right? Ketchup. Ash Ketchup. What was? There was this one episode of Pokemon where he introduced himself as Tom Ate. That was funny. I thought. Okay, so let's make the placeholders. Let's assume this is the basic image of the all, right? And I'm going to make placeholders for the other directions. Up. Up. And down, left, and right. Okay. This will be the files for the idle animation, right? Let's make the other folders.
Element of surprise!
What I was thinking, I forgot. Oh yeah, movement. I also need hunting. Yeah, I do have some others. Basically, I copied the system Twitch has. Even though YouTube doesn't have it, I actually implemented my own. Yeah. Okay. I need... movement, idle, attack. Okay, and I also need the wind up and the wind down. Okay. How long have you been using GameMaker? Around a year and a half? Yeah. I actually started using GameMaker the moment I started this project on January from last year, basically. Yeah. I basically... what to call it? I started this project at the same time I started learning GameMaker. So there is a lot of issues with the game because there is a lot of stuff I didn't know when I started. So this project is in a dire need of a refactorization. Yeah. But so far I have not really dedicated time to it. Other engines you have used? I have used Unity. I tried to use Godot. I didn't quite understand it, so I just set it aside. I played around with what is it called? Unreal for a bit. I didn't really program anything interesting there. And I have worked on a RPG Maker. Mainly with Ruby as the programming language. Yeah. Scratch greater than anything else? Really? I never have used Scratch, actually. I never even tried. Actually, there is another engine that I have used. It was called... It was not Game Maker. It was a different, more basic one. What was his name? It was really, really like basic. He had a very simple name like Game Engine or something. I had not touched that one like in years, so I don't remember. I don't even remember the name correctly, but it was very, very, very cheap. Very simple. It was the most I could make on it was like GTA 2. Yeah. GTA 6 is program scratch? Really? I never actually checked what they are using on Rockstar. Yeah, 1 second. Just let me check something. Oh wait, I know what Scratch is. Now I remember. Can you even make it interesting? Isn't Scratch the same isn't the same program that one guy that was in our what's it called? On our Discord was using? Mario Maker 2 I never actually make like an editor of that kind, because basically Mario Maker is a game editor. It basically behaves more like a what call it, the tool you will use to build levels that you give to game designers. Yeah. Then again, if you try hard enough, I suppose you can make pretty much anything on any program. Imagine making something like a World of Warcraft on a Minesweeper. That would be a real challenge. Then again, real programmers only use assembler. Why no? Okay. Okay, quiet down. I'm just making the placeholders for the animations. I don't need the animations to be there to actually program the game. I just need to have the file. Ah. Okay. In theory, that should be good enough. Let's see. Let's modify the object for the owl and add the correct sprite. There we go. In command prompt. ChatGPT prompts. Can you imagine that? Trying to program something using only ChatGPT without actually like making any code yourselves? That would be quite a challenge. Okay, I had this. I need to set the definition right here correctly. Okay. Let's give it a try. We have our bunny. We have our owl over there. Hello. The wind is working correctly, huh? I like it, I like it. Hello. Nice. Wow. The wind actually is working quite nicely. What I need to do now is basically, wow. Make it so the owl is immune to his own wind because it seems he's getting pushed himself. Basically, the owl is supposed to drop like this tornado that sends wind your way, and is meant to push you, for example, into stuff like this. Yeah, I just don't have the animation of the wind yet. Okay, so I need to make the owl immune to its own thingy. Let's see. So we have the attack, the index, the creation, the gear. Let's check this one. So over here we are just going through the things, and we basically make no exception for the owner. So let's add a variable right here, owner, and I will set it as no1 as default. And when we are checking the IDs right here, I will add a little exception. If the owner is the same ID as the one we are using on the list, we will simply skip. Right? Okay. Going back to the owl, let me close the sprites. Owl, you here need to set yourself as the owner. So the owner is you, like that. That way you will be ignored from the wind. Yeah, I basically implemented my own collision system. I basically am not using any of the physics from the game maker engine. I programmed my own Not that I knew it was a nightmare to work with. I basically didn't know it had its own collision system. So I made my own. Yeah, the other enemies are supposed to be affected by it. It's just that because of the way I made my ouch. My what to call it? My pathfinding system. Basically, there is this grid. Actually, you can see it if I provoke the. Well, it's actually not showing. Well, basically, the game has this system where, let me just write on the screen. Basically, the screen is divided in cells like this, right? It's a grid, and because of it, because I'm using the grid to navigate, when the wind pushes someone, if, for example, the enemy is moving in such a way that is like moving like this, right? Before he can actually reach his destination, let's say the enemy is standing right here, and there is a wind blowing against the direction of the enemy, because the enemy is set to move to the next square from here to here, right? And the wind is working against it. Basically, the enemy stands in place. It gets stuck on this square, doing nothing, because the wind is basically canceling its movement. And this happens pretty much no matter where the enemy is trying to move, right? If the enemy were to be trying to move, for example, from here to here, because the wind is pushing sideways, the enemy, what they will do is basically try to move back to the center of the grid, right? Because it's being pushed this way. Because it does something like this, it corrects by going on the other direction, which makes it so the enemy is basically stone locked when it's on the wind. Sadly, that's a little bug of the way I implemented the pathfinding when in the game. Yeah. But in concept, the enemy should be pushed by the wind too. Yes. It's just that I kinda screwed up the pathfinding, and it's basically canceling the movement, and that results on the enemies just standing still when the wind is hitting them. Yeah, you can actually see it right here. Oh. Basically, if we go over here, if I go and provoke the guy right here, you can see the enemies that are on the way of the wind basically get stun locked. Yeah. And I kinda screw something up. The enemies kinda pushing a little bit too much. Maybe I should add a wind down for the attack, because it was kinda spamming the wind right there. Let's call this fire rate. Fire rate. Do I already have a variable called fire rate? Let me just see that. Flag equal horizontal speed. Do you have a... That's nothing, okay. Yeah, there is no fire rate. Okay, just make sure. Okay. Just making sure there is no fire rate. There is a fire rate. Yeah, then let's not use that fireball. Let's call it attack. Wow. Attack. Right. And let's set this to 0 by default. And I will check if this is greater than, let's say, 3 seconds, 180 frames. Attack. Let's go rate is greater than the 3 seconds. Actually, is under the 3 seconds. We just skip. Right? We don't attack. Actually, we just need to skip the animation, I suppose. Let's go, instead of being on wind up, let's go to wind down. Actually, this should not be being checked here. Hold up. Where is it? Wind up, right here? No, it has to be on the animation end. Wind up. Wind on the animation end. Okay, so I need to go right here. Okay. Function. Wind on animation end. I need to override this. And the wind up animation end has just the switch to the state attack. Okay. So here I will only switch if the attack rate is greater than 180. Else I will just go to what would be good? We go back to hunting. Right, and this I said attack rate, excuse me, to 0, since we just executed that. And to increase it, I'm going to have to increment this and just have it right here. That should work. So in theory, that should fix the attack speed of the enemy. Yeah, he's just now playing one down at a time, which is quite nice. You can actually see the enemies getting pushed. Yeah. Oh, he got killed. Wow, these guys are attacking each other quite a bit. Okay, that seems to be working correctly. Nice. Are they supposed to be able to
Are
hit
we
each other?
supposed to be able to hit each other?
Hello, Most. Welcome. It's a funny story, actually. Because the way I make my code, I basically make my code very generic. And because of that, I made like this attack and damage system that was a bit too generalized. And unintentionally, I programmed a friendly
Welcome,
fire
most. Please enjoy the stream.
for the enemies. Originally, the plan was not for them to be able to attack each other, but once I saw the feature and how it worked, I kinda just kept that. Yeah. Because funny enough, it also applies to things like knockback and other things that interact with the damage system and attack system. For example, another like lucky effect of the attack system is that because I tied the shield block system and parry system with the attack system, that means, yeah, it's a bug that became a feature. This is another bug that because you can parry attacks, right? Well, it turns out if you have something like a bomb that runs on the same basically code, you can do something like this. You can parry explosions. And that was also not intentional. But hey, I'm not complaining. Yeah, that was absolutely non-intentional. Actually, now that I think about it, because the Gwent system that I'm using is basically using the same code as the attack. That means that probably I can... let me get rid of these guys. Come on, go away. You guys too. Okay. If he places its wind, like right here. If I place... Oh, it's actually not interacting with the bombs. That's surprising, actually. Wow, there is a lot of lag. Yeah, it's not actually interacted with the bombs. Huh, that's surprising. I thought it was going to interact with it. Huh. That's weird. Hold on, let me check the Gwent. Gwent stream. Oh, I see. It's because I was very specific of what could actually interact with it. Yeah. Yeah, so... What is the bomb inherent from? Now that I think about it. Entity parent. Okay. That's the issue. Object score entity parent. Okay. I added to the code. So it should work now. Y can catch the stream pues sencillo. Okay. Thank you for coming, Disset. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Ouch. Okay, you guys need to chill out. Okay, let's check this. provoke this guy. Now the bomb can be affected by wind. Nice. Oh! It pushes the turns. Okay, that's not something I thought it could do. Okay, now that's a new interaction I did not intend for. Wow. Okay. That's new. Wow. You can push the turns entities. Wow. Now that's something I didn't count on. Wait, does that mean if I use the flame? It pushes the flame! Ah! Ah, wait, I got stuck. Ah, there we go. Ah, wait, this guy broke? It seems like my AI broke a little bit. Hello? Hazardous and chaotic events. Yeah, apparently. Unintentionally so, but I don't know why, but it works. I believe if I work for Bethesda, I will receive the Top Hours seal of approval. What about your Slash? Oh, that's a really good question. Well, hold on. What about my Slash? That's a really, really good question. Okay, let's first get rid of the other enemies. Ah, they are really annoying. Actually, let me go grab some health so I can actually use the flash. No health there, not health there. There we go. That's some health, not enough health, sadly. I don't have enough. Okay, let's kill the bunny. Not enough. Ah! It actually managed to kill me. No drops. Whoa, that was close. No drops. No drops. Wow, really? Wow, this one is tough. Okay, let me just reload. Okay, let me take advantage of the spikes right here to get rid of these guys. Okay, let's see. Let's have this guy place some wind. Oh, it didn't actually stop it. It slowed it down. Did you see that? Actually, let me do a little experiment. Let me grab the wind stream and I will put it right here. Right? Let me set it like this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You blink and the gold was gone. Okay, let's test it out. Wow, I forgot. The player is also affected by the wind. Okay, so I forgot to set it so they don't spawn. Hold on. Let me set it. Actually, let me just add the value here. What do I call this variable? Let's call it infinite. The wind doesn't push each other. Yeah, I made it so it didn't happen because I believe it would end up with some weird interactions that I don't want to happen. Maybe the possibility of an infinite loop, which is not something I want. And let's just call this this spawn is a what? Right? And over here, not here, right here, timeout under 0 and resolve and not the spawn disabled, then destroy. Okay, and over here what I'm going to do is simply disable the despawn, excuse me, right? Actually I can just delete these ones and copy instead of doing all that. 2, 3, 4. Actually, let me move these ones so they don't push me out of the room. 5. And 6. Yeah, pushing wind sounds like something that will crash our main player experience. Yeah, it can end up with some weird loops. I actually caused one like that when I was implementing the parry, because I managed to loop an attack between two objects that automatically parried, which became quite the show. Okay, so first here, let's see the normal speed. That's the normal speed, right? You see it? And this is the other on 1. This is on 2. Ah! It's moving very slowly forward on 3. Oh, okay. That one is getting pushing back. What if I do this? Wow. Okay, I forgot about this. Wow, that's quite the interesting interaction, huh? Because of the way I set the push to be stopped by collision, that means the these things cannot really be pushed like beyond walls. That's a little quirk of the code right there, which is interesting. Yeah, it's a very interesting interaction. Yeah. Actually, that gives me a little idea. How about if I change the direction right here? So this one is pushing down, right? So how about I push twice down, and right here I push to the right, right? That will push the attack to the right, and here I can have another one that is pointing down, right? And then again I have two, right? And then one, and then two. What will that do exactly? Okay. Wow, there it goes, the barrel. Okay, this is pushing me that way. Okay, if I attack. Oh, wow. So it just stops right there, and when it comes to that contact, it starts going up again, huh? That's actually stops it. So 2 is enough to actually like hold it in place, but it's not enough to push it back. Interesting. Then how about I increase these ones, and let's place, actually let's move these ones a bit. Let's put it like this, and I will place more of this along the path. Okay. Wow. I'm actually being pushed on the way to the edge. Ah! 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 Okay, I managed to get over here. If I stick to the wall and then attack up. Wow! You can actually make a puzzle out of this.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, you can actually make a puzzle out of this. That's very interesting. Wait, what happens if I do... if I... if I do this? Ouch. Wow, it actually pushes the explosion. It's actually interactive with the explosion also. Wait, does that mean it actually interacts with the bomb? Come on. I didn't mean to go that way. Ah! Drop the bomb. Oh, it actually does push the bomb quite a bit. Huh. Interesting. You could actually make a puzzle out of this. Ah. Now this is very interesting. I like it. So this can be used as a puzzle. Huh. Interesting. I like it. Okay. Then let me add some good animations for this. I feel like it's necessary. Let's see. How would this thing look within the game, actually? Let's see. Let's create this sprite. Right? Sprite underscore main stream. Right? So let's see. Yeah. It's funny how playing around with the mechanics of the game can actually result on new stuff for the game. Yeah. How do I make this make sense? I was thinking on maybe a little like tornado, right? Actually, I can maybe make it using like areas like let me set the grid a little bit more cleanly. I could set it like this. Right? Hold on. I'm trying to figure out this. So it will be like that. And then not in that layer. Like this. And then right here. Not in that layer. Okay, good night, Ricardo. Sleep well. Thank you for coming on the stream. Good night, good night. Thank you for coming. Sleep well. Okay. And I make this something, maybe something smaller, like this. Right? That would be the structure of the tornado. That would make it like by adding some lines. Right? I will like connect this with the bottom right. Maybe like that. So I will connect this with this. That actually doesn't look right. Like that. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Yeah, that actually looks kinda correct. This line right here looks a bit weird. Maybe if I place it lower, like this. Yeah, it does look a bit better. Maybe fix this one. More horizontal. Okay, I suppose that looks good enough. This one right here we don't need. Okay. And so I will be using these colors right here for the tornado, starting with this one. Okay, so first I need to make connect it, the different things, like that. That looks a bit weird. Maybe like this. Okay, that makes more sense, I suppose. Like that. The base to the corner. Okay. Okay, so let's make chase here, like something like this, right? I'm going to use a darker color here, just so I can tell them apart. Right? Does that look like a tornado? Or am I completely wrong here? I could maybe use something like more clean for the blue. This is not meant to be like the final sprite for this, just the placeholder. So you actually can tell what the hell is the sprite supposed to be. And I think I will just simply make like a little spiral right here, like that. Yeah, it does look better, huh? Okay, so we will... what happens if I save this? One moment. It doesn't really look right. Okay, I suppose this is good enough to represent it, right? So now that I have this sprite, I can change the one I was using. Paint string. Right? So now it will look like that. And I need something to show the current, which way it's going, right? So let's create another sprite. Okay, let's call this sprite underscore green. Okay, let's see. Because I just want to like see, no? The wind is going in a certain direction. I can maybe do something like this, like just like the signs of the wind going in a certain direction. Let's see. Let's call this the final thing, and I need to make the ones in between. Let's make 8 different frames. This is the final, so we are right here. Let's see. So we will remove 1 pixel and move forward a little bit. This one I will remove a few pixels as I go. Maybe skip a few. Right? And this needs to move forward a little bit. And then here we move even more forward, maybe dissipating the wind a little bit. Right? Okay. And here I will just connect these two. Maybe start drawing this. No, actually, cancel that. Let's just make it like this ended. Up dissipating. Right? And we just add the dial end right there. And we can extend this one. Yeah, let's start this and start dissipating these ones. And here I just basically make the shape we had before. Right? In theory that should work. set the frame rate to 8. And it looks like this. It doesn't quite look very clean, huh? Yeah, it looks... There is a T-square pause, right? Which is not something I like. How about I remove the last frame? That looks way more fluid. Yeah. But the spiral doesn't look quite nice, huh? Maybe I should remove it. Maybe simplify it so it's not like so overbearing. Yeah, maybe I can just do it like this. I suppose that looks okay-ish, right? I suppose it's good enough. Yeah. Okay. So now I need to add it to the effect. So let me close this. I don't need to either. Okay, here I need to create a draw call, a simple draw call, and here, let's say, I need to draw sprite. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's say the sprite is a sprite underscore with parent. The location -1 to set on default, and location is going to be in an X and Y, but we have not decided. Okay. How about we do it like this? Given the current direction, right? We have the direction right here. We are going to do basically this. So I'm going to copy this switch. Okay, but instead of actually pushing the object, what I'm going to do is simply draw the sprite, right? So I will switch this for this. Right here. And the position would be this. Okay. And let me just change all this. Basically, we are going to draw the wind all the way to the end of the map using this function. And I also need the variable for the position. Okay. In theory, that should work. We will see. Let's check it out. Oh, I forgot I deleted the ones there. Let's go to the bird instead. Go away. Okay. Throw me the wind. Come on. Oh. That's weird. It's not showing it correctly. It's drawing, yeah, but it's not on the correct position, which is interesting. It's also not showing the tornado for some reason. Hmm. 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 Yeah, I think maybe I'm calling too many functions for the draw. I might need to optimize the code. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Actually, I have a better idea. Rather than trying to draw this like this, how about if I make it an actual element of the game by making it an object? Actually, why did I create a sprite on the object folder? Well, you are supposed to go be over here. Let me check the tornado is working correctly, because I'm kinda worried about the fact it's not showing the tornado with attack. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, there it is. At least it's showing correctly. Yeah. It's working correctly. Okay. So how about I create a little object, and I will just call it object underscore wind current. Right? And its only purpose is to show the animation. Did I create a folder instead of an object? Wow. Create object. Object wind current. Okay. And this sprite is going to use that, and the only thing you will do is simply move on the direction you are going. So let's set a variable direction. By default, it's going to be direction dot down, just to give it a direction, right? And we will check which direction you're facing, and given that direction, if you're going down, let me make the other for once. Up, left, right. Okay. If you are going down, we will simply increase our Y. If we are going up, we decrease it. If we are going left, we decrease our X. If we are going right, we increase it. Okay. And I will simply give it an event on animation end. When you are done with your animation, you will simply instance underscore destroy. You will simply despawn. Right? That's basically it. And I will make this basically just a spawn. One of the others. Let's call this left right, far right. Let's call this 0. And over here, I will just left right, increase it, and if or f rate is greater than, what would be nice, 60 frames, 1 second. We instance create not in depth, in layer. We are going to create on this position X and Y. We are going to create on the layer instances the object wind current, and I will set as to a variable so I can give you a direction that here is going to be equals to my here, so you go in the correct direction. Actually, I don't even need this to be on inside the switch. I can just put it outside because it's going to be going on whatever direction I'm facing regardless, so it doesn't need to be inside of a if. And we need to set f rate to 0 to restart the cycle, right? There is one thing I want to check. Dear Owl, do you have a reset for the attack rate? Now that I think about it. You do. Let's increase this to 200. Just in case. Okay. Let's see. How does this work now? Whoa, there goes this. Well, the wind certainly is doing its job, for sure. It's not like quite correct the way it works, but maybe instead of destroying it on the animation end, I could make it self-destruct once they are out of the room. Maybe that would be more fitting rather than on animation end. Delete. Right? Once we are outside the room, we destroy the animation. We don't uh, just let the animation play, but we let it go outside, basically. Hello. We don't have sideways animations. Maybe we will should destroy it along with the... What happens when the current hits the wall? It actually ignores the walls currently. Yeah. So if there is a bird inside this sealed room right here, and it somehow starts attacking you, it will actually go through walls, the wind. Yeah. It ignores walls currently. We don't have the correct animations for this, funny enough. We might need to make a few extra animations. But I suppose it is enough to actually sell the idea that is wind. Yeah. Actually, I can fix this a little bit easier if I grab this and I just duplicate it a couple times, right? Because that increases the length of the animation to be about the same length as the duration of the tornado, right? If I do that, then I don't need to worry about it leaving the room, right? I can just settle for the animation end, which is a little bit more clean, I believe. Yeah, that should look way better, actually. Ouch. Now that looks way better. That's lagging quite a lot. It seems like it happens more when the owl is like on the corner of a wall, not so much when he's yeah, not so much when he's like attacking itself. It's more like it's the pathfinding getting stuck and recalculating at the wall. Yeah. I need to check that. Okay, I think we did quite a bit of progress. We have an owl, we have a tornado, we have an air current. Yeah. Let's see. It's a little bit late for me, so I suppose I will be stopping here for today. Yeah.
Sound alerts. How long have you been using GM? Ricardo Lolly has the alerts, Lobotomy X5, Metal Pipe X90, Scotland X9, Surprise X13. Will the other enemies be affected by the wind too? Aren't we supposed to be able to hit each other? E.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. I suppose I will be ending it there. Thank you so much for coming to the stream. And we will continue this on Tuesday. Yeah. Tomorrow we will be playing Elden Ring. I'm trying to finish my first run through Elden Ring. Yeah. Is not at your place? Yeah, actually the little clock down here, that actually is my current time. Yes. My local time. Yeah, so yeah, it is night where I am. It's 11 in the morning where you are, really. I suppose that means you are around the area of Austria or Germany. Yeah, if my geography is not like completely off. So this area, Asia, yeah. I should be around that area, yeah. But yeah, it's very late for me. So I'm going to stop here for today. We made some progress, I believe. We will continue this on Tuesday. And tomorrow we will be playing Elden Ring. I always stream from 6 p.m. my time until 10 p.m. Yes. Yeah, so just if you're not aware, my game is actually available on my Patreon for free. You don't need to subscribe or pay anything. The prototypes are a bit buggy because, well, they are prototypes. But if you're interested in playing the game, you can actually find it there if you're interested. Yeah. Okay, thank you for coming to the stream. And I will see you next time if you're interested. Okay, good night. Thank you for coming. Good night, good night. Bye-bye. Good night. Have a good day. Sleep well if it's night for you. Yeah. Good day, good night. Bye-bye. Adiós. Buenas noches. Que descansen. Bye-bye. Good night. And thank you for coming. Bye.
Oh, got a restock. Are there engines you've used? Yay, I'm maxed out again. Scratch greater than everything else, Limau. I used to mess around with it as a kid. I stopped when they updated to 3.0 I think. Beta 6 is programmed on Scratch. Oh really? I thought they were programming it inside Baba Is You. NVM they made it in Mario Maker 2. I digress, I believe they have made it in Conway's Game of Life. Clusterdruck in Brainf. Lies they made it in Command Prompt. Chat prompts. She's supposed to moonwalk. It's wind. So basically it doesn't count as a moonwalk since she's cheating. I've dealt with GM tile collision system before and it's a nightmare. Will the other enemies be affected by the wind too? Aren't we supposed to be able to hit each other? Hello. Friendly fire is on. So, it is a bug that become a feature. Face blue smiling. Peak. I see, I implement things similarly in my games. Lol the explosion parito. E. Can't catch the stream. Busy. See ya. K. Also thanks Historia. This stream is chill. Whoa. Got him. WTF. Why it is only push one thorn Lamau. Oh, now it pushes the other thorns. Fireball. Hazardous and chaotic environments. Wait. What about your slash? Skill issue. I blinked and the owl was gone. So it could also speed it up. We can make a railgun. Will the wind push each other? Yeah, wind pushing wind sounds like something that would crash or make an unplayable experience. Lol. That's wild. That actually might be fun if you intentionally make an area that relies on this. Oh no, you're stuck.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely. A puzzle out of this sounds like a great idea. Adventures in seemingly unintended territory are giving you some great ideas. Hey, I gotta wake up early tomorrow, so I'll be taking me leave now. Good night to y'all. My leave. Yeah, it looks alright with the lighter blue. It does looks like a tornado with a spiral on top. It looks good for me. It feels like the game is lagging after attack_8 added. What happens when the wind current hit a wall? It is night at your place? It is 11 in the morning here. Yeah, I'm from Southeast Asia. That was a great stream. See you again. Good night. Croissant emoji. Rice cracker emoji. Banana emoji. Bye bye.